No, it's on.
What's going on, everybody? Cowboy C3 got Chris Jackson Smith and Jigba LaCour with me.
What's wrong with this dude, man?
Gotcha. What's going on? Y'all doing all
What's
right
up?
this week, man?
What's
What's
going
up?
on?
What's
going
up?
on? Chilling.
Man. So today, on this episode of the Blitz, I wanted to talk about these quarterback competitions, and I got 5 of them. And it seems like we go through this every year, some sort of quarterback competition, a quarterback controversy, and some of them are warranted, right? Like some of these quarterback battles will go probably to the last day of training camp, and then they'll decide a starter. And then some of them are not. There is no competition, and the one that I think absolutely is no competition is in Minnesota with JJ McCarthy and Kyler Murray.
Okay.
They signed Kyler Murray for a reason. They saw, with the exception of the Cowboy game, JJ McCarthy was not very good last year, and they don't think that he can lead their organization. At least that's what I believe. Kaji, you looking like you don't agree with me.
I'll keep my thoughts. I'll let you go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I'm interested in your thoughts now. You didn't threw my whole train of thought off. You got it.
I'm sorry. I was trying to keep my poker face on.
No, go for it.
Honestly, I haven't seen enough from Kyler. I've seen glimpses, of Kyler being, talented and what he can be, but they got rid of him for a reason. So if anyone can revive his QB career, obviously it's Kevin. But to me, anytime I hear that they have to talk to you about going over film, I am highly concerned. That should not be, as if you are a starting QB of any franchise, I don't care what professional league, like you are getting paid millions. Like there's no excuse to not be studying the film, especially if you're not winning. Like, have you gone to Super Bowl? Have you won a ring? No. Like, why are you not studying the film? Like, that should be a constant. I don't know what's going on with Kyler. JJ, I'll give him a little bit of grace because he's been injured. Like he's come, his obviously, we didn't really see him his first season. He was out the whole time. Last season he was out due to injury. So it's kind of hard to really assess him fully based on his injury health. I mean, his injuries. There's glimpses, but he hasn't had as much time to show what he can do as Kyler. So Kyler don't have no seats for me.
You didn't see enough last year?
Not consistently, no.
Chris, what you think?
You
on this panel, you know more about JJ McCarthy than anybody.
Yeah. And I tried to tell people that coming out of college that he looked good because of the system he was in. Everybody knows that Jim Harbaugh is a running coach. You're going to run the ball. So he always had good running backs. Blake Corum, can't remember his first name, but his last name was Edwards. A couple of other guys. JJ McCarthy always had good running backs at Michigan. And when you run, that opens up to do, little pass plays here and there. And you got good receivers that can take a 5-yard out and turn it into a 65-yard touchdown, right? He was hidden in a very great system. You send him to the league, you send him to Minnesota where you have receivers that you need to go get the ball to. Your running game is not that great. You get exposed a lot, and we saw that, right? And I don't know if people think that JJ McCarthy is going to turn a corner, if he's going to Sam Darnold this thing. But if they think so, and if that's a possibility, it's not in Minnesota. And I think you have a better chance at winning in a loaded NFC North with Kyler Murray than you do with JJ McCarthy, because we've seen what Kyler Murray can do when healthy, of course. Health is always a factor. But we've seen what he can do with a smidge of talent, right? What was down there in Arizona. So now you pair him with a competent head coach, a quarterback's coach, and you still have good outside talent, better outside talent than what he had in Arizona. It gets a little worrisome as far as job security for JJ McCarthy. And depending on how well Kyler Murray does and how healthy he stays this season, JJ McCarthy might get cut or might be trade bait. But I think the Minnesota experiment for JJ McCarthy is coming to an end after this season.
I just don't think he's good, Kaja. I don't. And I saw enough at Michigan. I saw enough last season. With the exception of the Cowboy game, which every receiver was open against the Cowboy game against the Cowboys last year. He was not good at all. Kyler Murray and his relationship with his front office and his coaching staff in Arizona, they had obviously fallen apart because you turned the helm over to Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another quarterback competition with Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, and Carson Beck.
Is that really a competition?
Is it? I don't know. Like,
I mean, Carson Beck. I mean, it's Carson Beck.
It is.
Carson Beck is probably emergency quarterback, right? I don't see him QB1 or QB2. It's Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett because they both have live NFL game rep experience, multiple game. They have experience, so it would be between those two. But I think no matter who you pick to be quarterback in Arizona, it doesn't solve the problem that Arizona has. Arizona is not.
Hold that thought. We're gonna talk about Arizona. We're gonna talk about them. Minshew magic lasts for 2 or 3 weeks. That's the history of Minshew magic. It'll be 2 or 3 weeks. It'll be great, and then he have a 5 interception game. Jacoby Brissett is just Jacoby Brissett. He's a game manager. Like, the definition of game manager in the NFL dictionary should have a picture of Jacoby Brissett beside it. He manages a football game. Like, that's what he does. There's nothing spectacular about it. He'll complete he'll complete a couple of big passes in a season, but other than that, it is super duper mediocre. He said, JJ, I don't know if he'll get cut. I just don't think that there's a chance in hell that he'll start. Like, if you go into a training camp and we're going to pick the best quarterback out of this bunch, it's going to be Kyler Murray. It will not be JJ McCarthy.
100%. There has to be some major either health issue or disciplinary issue that prevents Kyler Murray from being your day one starter. And I think that as I think they're trying to treat this JJ McCarthy situation very delicately. I think they like the kid. I think he's a good kid. I just don't think anybody thinks that they can win with him. And I think that, granted, they did go 9-8 last year. It was a very underwhelming, unimpressive 9-8.
Yeah.
And the games that they won, JJ McCarthy did not help you win those games.
With the exception of the Cowboys.
That defense and the occasional show up of the running game is what won a lot of those games for Minnesota last year, not JJ McCarthy.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think that the game that I watched, of course, the most was the Cowboy game, where I got to actually sit down and watch him play. And he missed a whole lot of passes. That score should have been 52-14. It should have been. He missed a lot of passes. But he threw for 300 yards. He threw for, I think he threw 3 touchdowns in that game. And he had a great game. And I was like, man, like, this could be that jump start that he needed, right? They did it to Caleb Williams. They let him go off, and then it jump started Caleb Williams' season. I said, this might be the game that jump starts JJ McCarthy's season. And I think the next game he threw 3 picks.
He just can't read NFL defenses well.
Yeah, it's tough. And when you come from a system like Michigan where you are a 180 quarterback, that's tough to do.
Very hard.
I got 2 more for you.
What's up?
Tua Tagovailoa and Michael Penix Jr.
I don't think that's a competition. I think MPJ is hurt.
He is.
He tore something.
Tore his ACL.
Yeah. So there is no competition. The reason why they went and got Tua was because you don't have to flip the whole playbook in now. You can plug and play a left-handed quarterback.
So what happens when Penix comes back week 5 and let's say they're 3-1?
Oh,
Tua still going to the bench. The inevitable Tua meltdown
is about to happen.
Unavoidable. It's unavoidable. There's nothing, and I think Atlanta did a lot in the offseason, make them a little bit more competitive in that division this year. But Tua is Tua. It's something between the ears. And before y'all jump on me, it's not a concussion joke. It's not a concussion joke. But the concussions do play a part. And I think, again, with his concussion history, if he doesn't learn how to slide, I think Atlanta still probably has a bottom third O-line. It's not going to be good. So, but now you have a dilemma of recovering torn ACL quarterback who was already injury prone beforehand coming out of college.
Now he got two bad knees.
Two bad knees because he tore the other one this time, right?
He tore the other one.
He tore the other one. So you got a quarterback with two bad knees. You got a quarterback with a bad head.
Wow.
I think this is a lose-lose, but I think in the moment it made sense because now, like I said, you don't have to flip the whole playbook. You can just plug and play. And it's really rare to have a lefty quarterback in the league.
They got two of them.
You have one available and you have one your starter is a lefty and you have one available to hold steady whatever this ship is until your starter comes back. But they could be 4-0, 3-1, 2-2, 0-4, week 5. If that's MPJ's comeback date, MPJ will be playing.
Kaja, you have a quarterback that has had 3 concussions over the last 3 years. He had 2 in one season.
I think it's been more than that, to be honest.
It's probably. I think it's 3 in 3 years, but he had the 2 in one season, and the 2 were scary. The 2 that he had, both of them were pretty scary. And then you got a guy. It should have. And then you got a guy that comes in. He was drafted. Some would say early. Remember, they moved up to like pick number 8 to get him, and Michael Penix Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Had a bad right knee. Now he has a bad left knee. That left knee that's his plant knee right this time. It was his lead knee before because he's left-handed. Do you risk rushing to bring him back, or do you just let Tua play and just see where it goes?
You gotta let Tua play and just see where it goes. I mean, you don't rush him back. I mean, what's the purpose of getting Tua if you're gonna, still rush him back? Like he's there. Like you're paying him. Let him play. He's gonna play. He's already said pretty much with his actions and verbally, like he's not going to retire anytime soon. Yeah. I don't care if he gets concussed maybe 2 more times. He's probably still gonna be out there as soon as he's healthy enough again to play. So let him play. And then worst case scenario, if it looks like trash, when MPJ is ready to come back, let him play. But I wouldn't rush him, no, because he's still young. You drafted him very early.
Yeah, I agree. So the last one before the season finale. No, I'm just joking. The last one before the finale is, we talked about this in the chat this week when Kirk Cousins was named the starter. Is it Kirk Cousins' job to lose? Or will he be on a short leash because they just itching to let Fernando Mendoza play?
If they were itching to let him play, he'd be the day one starter. I think that they are trying to do this the right way, but it just bugs me because you spent the first overall pick, and the first overall pick is not starting. And I don't think that's to say that Fernando Mendoza is not capable, but I think coming from college to the pros is a very, very big jump. Mm-hmm. And to do, and this might even, Tom Brady might have had something to say with this, and be like, listen, let the guy see some live reps with a veteran seasoned quarterback. I don't think that they're going out there expecting Kirk Cousins to lose. I don't think you go get Kirk Cousins because you don't think it's a matter of time before you bring in your number one pick. I think Kirk Cousins is literally there to show him the ropes. And if it gets a little tricky, then you can switch it up because now you don't have tape on this guy, and that might give you a spark. But I think that they're starting Kirk Cousins literally just to give Mendoza a head start as an NFL quarterback.
You agree, Kaja, or is that something that, or is there something else that you see? Like, I'll give you my perspective of it. I think Kirk Cousins is on a leash, and his leash is about that long. Because the fans are going to want to see Fernando Mendoza. And if Kirk Cousins comes in and does Kirk Cousins things, right? Because the Raiders are an interesting team. We talked about them last week. They don't really have a lot of star power. They don't really have a lot of wow. They just don't. And the biggest spark that you can have sometimes is bringing in a young guy and kind of letting him run around. I do think that I do agree with Chris in a certain aspect, because I don't really want to throw this dude to the wolves, not yet, because the Raiders are a bad team. They are. And Kirk Cousins has shown that he can kind of manage a bad team. He can do that. But I think about week 3 or 4, especially if it's not going in any direction whatsoever, why not let the rookie play? Let him go out there and see what he can do. It's a tough division.
I agree with little bits of actually what both of you said. I do feel like Captain Kirk, I mean, I would have started him anyways, just as a GM. He's, experienced. You have a young QB who hasn't played any NFL football. Let him learn the ropes. Let him watch. Let him learn. And if it doesn't go right, then you put him in there. But I wouldn't just throw him to the wolves right away. There's no need to. You got Captain Kirk there.
It's true. And Kirk is not a bad quarterback. I'm not saying that he's bad at all. He signs probably the smartest contracts in NFL history. But I
agree with you on that one.
Yeah, he's Mr. Guaranteed Money man. But another guy that is a game manager, and he's not gonna make a lot of mistakes. As long as it's not a night game, he won't make a lot of mistakes. And he's proven himself to be a serviceable NFL quarterback. But I think that the Raiders need a little bit more than serviceable at this point, because they have a roster, they have a young roster, but they need a leader. And I do think that Kirk Cousins could be that leader, but I think he can be that leader for the team. I think he can do that from the sideline as well. Now,
I think that this is not a Raiders know that they can't win this division. There has to be a lot of things that go left for the other 3 teams in the division, and a lot of things to go right at the same time for them to win this division. I think that this is the move of the start of a rebuild. I think that this is more of a long game move than a win now move. You win the Super Bowl in the draft, and they got their guy, right? Fernando Mendoza is going to be their guy, and that's who they're going to, build around. Mm-hmm. But the key word in that is build. I don't think that this team is anywhere near competitive yet. So I think this season is just honestly a measuring stick season. See where we're at, see what we need, see what the holes in the team are, see what we can fix, see what we need to add, see what we need to take away. And in about 2, maybe 3 seasons, then we'll have a different tune about the Raiders, as long as they do what they're supposed to. Because some front offices they do some dumb stuff. But as long as they do what they're supposed to do in 2 or 3 seasons, when we have this conversation again, like we had last week about the AFC West, we might be saying Vegas is a wild card, or Vegas might have a chance at winning the division. But it's not. They're nowhere near close to being in the. That's why we all had them at the back of the pack last week.
Agreed.
And they know it too. They know that they're not. If you have a 9-8 season, that's they overachieved this year.
Big time. All right, last one. It's been said, and I kind of started paying attention to it after I read an article, and it said that Shedeur Sanders is outplaying Deshaun Watson in mini camps, in OTAs.
Oh,
and
okay.
I started doing a little research, right? And he's taking a lot of first team reps. And the reason he's taking those reps is because, they're taking about 50-50 reps. And for me, Deshaun Watson did restructure his contract. He's not making that crazy amount of money anymore, right? But he's still making really good money. To the tunes of about $36 million this year.
I thought it was 47. Okay.
He restructured his contract for this year. He'll make $36 million.
Okay.
Are we willing? And Kaj, I'm talking to you, me and you, we the co-general managers of the Cleveland Browns. Are we willing to set $36 million on the bench and let a rookie, not a second-year quarterback play that seems to have the hot hand right now, even though it's just OTAs?
If I'm in that building and he's outplaying Deshaun and it's consistent, then yeah, I'm gonna give him a shot. Because this franchise to me is a complete hot mess. Respectfully, a complete hot mess. But you have a very loyal fan base. Shedeur is he's gonna fill the seats. We want to see him play. And they got his jerseys on, they're excited. So yeah, put him out there. This franchise to me, like, they need a complete reboot. They need like some life. Especially with Miles no longer there. So go ahead, put him out there. If he looks like he's the best man for the job, absolutely.
Chris, I like Shedeur. I do. I like Shedeur.
The answer is easy and simple. Yeah, you put $36 million on the bench because you haven't seen $36 million play in almost 3 years. You saw what Shedeur gave you when the coach was your head coach. You saw what Shedeur did when your head coach was against your quarterback. Kevin Stefanski did not want. What was it? His first game, the game he scored his first touchdown, and
Yes.
he congratulated somebody else, and then he was like, "And congratulations to our quarterback for his first touchdown," and kept it pushing. Like Kevin Stefanski wanted Shedeur to. That wasn't his guy. Dylan Gabriel was his guy. Kevin Stefanski wanted Shedeur to lose from the jump. So the fact that Shedeur was able to go out there and give you glimpses of what he can be in a shitty situation, and you haven't seen Deshaun Watson play in 3 years. Yeah, if he's got the high hand in OTAs and he had the high hand at the end of the season, why wouldn't we start the season with the high? We're the Cleveland Browns. We suck. We need any kind of spark that we can get, and we consistently have favorable schedule after favorable schedule because we always in last place in our division. So we always have a last place schedule. If I got a guy that I believe can kind of reorient the ship for us, and I've seen what he's done recently, and he's doing well right now, and he's winning right now the quarterback battle in OTAs. Yeah, what do we have to lose?
It's true.
We're the Browns. We lose anyway. So what do we have to lose here? We have nothing to lose. We have everything to gain from letting Shedeur start. Worst case scenario, he doesn't fit in our system. We can trade him and somebody else can do what they want with him. Best case scenario, Shedeur is your guy. You cut Deshaun or you trade him, dump the $36 million contract. there's no losing in this situation for Cleveland. You win either way because you either find out if you have your quarterback of the future or if you going back to the draft and ruining somebody else's young career.
I believe that that's part of the issue for Cleveland is that if you showcase Shador, right, you're going to showcase him to be your quarterback of the future. If you showcase Deshaun Watson and let's say you want to trade out of that, who's going to take that contract for one? I mean, because you haven't seen him play for 3 years.
Good point.
What team is going to take that? And, I mean, unless you want a backup quarterback, right? There's a lot of teams in the NFL right now that need a quarterback. They need a better quarterback than the situation they're in currently. But is Deshaun Watson better than the situation that you have currently? And the answer is we don't know because we ain't seen the dude play in 3 years.
Yeah.
He came back last year. He played what he played 2 games last year before he got hurt again, or was that year before last? They started off with Dallas.
I'm not sure how many games, honestly.
Yeah, he hasn't played. He hasn't played a terrible amount of games, but with the contract, he was still getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that situation is gone now, to where all the guaranteed money is gone. So now you have to go out and you have to perform. But I just don't know if he can. He's a shell of what he was when he was in Houston. He's been a shell of what he was in Houston since he got traded to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I just don't see how it's just a tricky situation. I can see why you were playing because, hell, you can't trade him. You know, you stuck with him. But I can also see like, hey, man, if this dude is just out playing you, then hey, we just gonna have to put him on the bench. But then you got 36 big ones sitting on the bench over there collecting the check, which is the same shit that he's been doing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tricky situation. Cleveland got themselves in a tricky situation. To me,
I wouldn't even go as far and just say Cleveland as a whole. Kevin Stefanski got them in a tricky situation. And now they have to find a way to untangle themselves out of it post Stefanski tenure. But I think the best way to do that is to start Shador. I think Deshaun Watson will probably be your QB2 just for emergency reasons or whatever. But I think you run with Shador, and then when the season's over with, or if you can find somebody stupid enough, because I mean, there are some teams that need a quarterback, and that they'll take anybody remotely close to being any kind of quarterback. Like we don't know who's throwing the ball for the Jets. We don't know.
I was gonna say the Jets.
We don't know who's throwing the ball for the Jets. But you know what? I don't even want to do my guy Aaron Glenn like that because he's already on the hot seat.
I'm rooting for Aaron.
I'm rooting for Aaron too. But being who he is, he's already on the hot seat. And then you add Deshaun Watson to that, you might as well go ahead and pack his office up before the season starts. But the Jets need a quarterback. They don't know who's throwing the ball. I don't know if you want to believe in Jacoby Brissett to make you competitive in Arizona. Miami believes in Malik Willis, but they could use a backup behind, because who's the backup? Skylar Thompson?
I believe so.
Right? So there's all these other teams
I thought it was Quinn.
Who?
Somebody's back there.
I thought it was Quinn.
Quinn who?
Did they draft him? Quinn Ewers?
Quinn Ewers.
Ewers.
He was the third last year. He may be. They may have moved him up to backup. They may have. So I got a whole lot of stuff I could say about Quinn Ewers, but I'm gonna save it for another show.
But so there are some teams who are in desperate need of somebody who resembles a quarterback, and those teams typically have the cap room to accommodate a stupid contract like what Deshaun Watson has. So they might be.
We just call Kirk Cousins contracts smarter than the NFL, but we call Deshaun Watson stupid. It's the same contract.
No, smart for Deshaun Watson.
Agree.
100%.
Agree.
It was dumb for Cleveland to give him 248, 260 fully guaranteed, or 230. It was crazy. But
something crazy.
There are some teams. So I think the best way to wash away the stain of Stefanski, go ahead and let Shador start. There is no downside from this. You're the Cleveland Browns. You are the downside. You can only go up from here.
Well, to your There is a bit of a downside, I'm just thinking about in terms of the money because you are still paying him at 36 million guaranteed. And if you would like to move on from him, somebody has to see him play. Like you got to see him play. We haven't seen him play good in a while. He's been injured. I think a lot of what had a lot of his downfall to me, I think, was what he was dealing with off of the field. With all the accusations and everything. I really feel like mentally, like when he first got to Cleveland, because that whole thing was still going on, that he was still dealing with that. And to me, that got the better of him. Last year, obviously, he got hurt like right away, so there goes that. Then I think he was re-injured again in the offseason. I think he was dancing with his fiance or something, and he hurt himself again, so that pushed him even further back. So, but if you want to see what he can do, and you want to move away from him, you got to put him out there at some point. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. If Shador's winning, I wouldn't risk it, but I understand what you're saying though, in terms of the money. It is tricky.
Preseason. That's it.
Let him play.
Preseason.
Got 3 games. Play. Show your stuff.
Got 3 games.
But nobody's really playing their people in preseason though at the same time.
I
so
mean,
it's like,
with that roster, I mean, you need to go out and show me that you can play. You can play with backups, right? Because
it's tape.
I need you to.
Yeah, I need 3 years.
I need to elevate something. You know what I mean? Before I'm gonna throw you out with these starters, you gotta show me something.
You on the field throwing the ball around. That is more than what I've seen from you in 3 years.
Agreed.
I can do something with this. I can form some kind of opinion. Okay, one game you run them with the backups, one game you run them with the starters, so you see both calibers of quarterback you getting out of Deshaun Watson, right? But preseason, I feel like that you literally have nothing to lose from that. It's preseason; it doesn't count to nothing, right? And then you get to see like, okay, maybe we hold on to Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
Develop Shador a little bit, or Shador is playing better than Deshaun, so we run with Shador and do it this way. And now you have tape and be like, hey, we're putting him out here. Who wants him, who needs him, and now you got some tape. Again, we haven't seen him play in 3 years. Preseason, yeah, everybody's playing at half speed. Everybody's playing at 25%, but that's 100% more than what we've seen from Deshaun.
And the backups to the backups, the third strings and whatnot.
If you can lead them. Right, if you can lead this ragtag group of people that probably won't even make an NFL roster, then I got faith in you. So
the ragtag group, I'm done.
Beginning no sin 6921 says yours is irrelevant, which I absolutely agree with. He said Malik Willis, I'm having a hard time with the English language, will be an MVP candidate. Now I tell you this: if Malik Willis is an MVP candidate at the end of the season, I think he should win the MVP, because if you can do that with that roster that Miami has, you're a bad boy. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For Malik Willis to be an MVP candidate, there has to be 15 people with season-ending injuries before him, at least.
It would be a wild one. Okay, so Raymond Hall Brooks says that there are 4 teams that can stop Seattle. The Eagles' defense is probably better than Seattle's, and the Rams and the Cowboys.
That's a lot of faith in the Cowboys' defense.
Okay, we'll save the Cowboys for another show, because I'm not going to start talking about them because I won't stop. So, Seattle is your defending Super Bowl champion. They're your defending Super Bowl champion in a division where you have some absolute burners of some football teams. The 49ers are a solid football team. They are every year. Their roster, and we'll talk about the roster here in just a second, may not be the greatest in the world, but they find a way to win football games. Mm-hmm. They always find a way to win football games. And then you got the Rams. Right. And then you got the Rams that
they in it to win it. They won it today.
They went all in. But I think that with the Rams, there's some chinks in the armor. I do. And we'll talk about it. So Seattle is coming in with a hell of a roster. So I don't think that they will miss Kenneth Walker III that much, because Kenneth Walker III last year, he was he wasn't an afterthought, but he was the backup running back up until Charbonnet got hurt. And then once Charbonnet got hurt, he came in and he did a great job. But then they drafted Jadarian Price this year, and I think that if any rookie went to a great went to a great situation. It was Jadarian Price, who was the backup for Love and Notre Dame. And if you watched him play, he was a very, very good running back too. So they didn't just rebuild in that situation with Kenneth Walker, losing Kenneth Walker. They reloaded and picked up Jadarian Price, and then Zach Charbonnet slides back into his position, and they just keep going. And then the resurgence of Sam Darnold. We talked about Sam Darnold a lot, Chris, back in the day, and we said that he was a turnover machine and that he wasn't ever going to be very good. And he went to Minnesota and he did some things. It went very well for him, and he lost in the first round of playoffs. He went to Seattle and they just turned the whole thing around. And that is a very, very talented football team, a very well coached football team. Defensively, they are a very solid football team as well. Traded for Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jaron Reed on your defensive line. Your linebackers are solid. Your secondary is solid with Ty Akuda and Josh Jobe. And they are very, very, very solid football roster. Lost a corner, but just bring another guy in, you know what I mean? And we'll keep it moving. Can anybody beat the Seattle Seahawks? Or will they just repeat and be the champions again?
Everyone's beatable.
Okay.
Everyone's beatable. I don't think there's any team that's like unbeatable. I will say a lot of the times the expectations are when a team wins, you think about their roster, it's like, oh man, a roster is stacked. They can do this again. It is really, really hard to win. Extremely hard to win. It's really, really hard to repeat. As much as I believe in Sam, I don't know if I have them repeating. I don't know if I do it. I think they're gonna miss Kenneth Walker though. You look at Jackson, Smith and what he's done, but not having Kenneth there, I think you will see a difference, because you know what he can do. We've seen it. I wouldn't have moved on from him personally. Not yet.
Chris, what you think?
I agree with Kaja. Everybody is beatable. We haven't seen somebody go undefeated in a long, long time, and that's for a reason. Whether it be that the teams that you're going against are just that good, or sometimes it's a trap game. Like, everybody is beatable. But I think Seattle, they did lose a couple of pieces. They did get some pieces back. I think it's hard to win 14 games in this league now. So I don't think that they do that again. I think they take a small step back, especially because of what's going on in their division. But as far as repeating, I don't think so. I think the league is getting too good. Even in their own division, teams are getting too good for them to be able to make a run like that again. There was a lot of things that just went right for them last year. And not taking away from the team that they had an incredible team, an amazing team, offense, defense, special teams, all three phases of the ball were incredible. But it's hard to capture lightning in the bottle twice in this league. And we haven't seen a repeat champion since the Patriots back in the mid-2000s?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's a hard thing to do. And when you win, now everybody is trying to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rams went and did what they did because, hey, y'all beat us in the NFC Championship. Y'all took our spot in the Super Bowl. We're doing this. We're coming to beat you, right? All the other teams are doing what they're doing because Seattle is at the top. So the road is going to get a little bit trickier to repeat. So no, I don't think they repeat, but I think that they still remain very competitive. And the NFC West is going to be one of the best divisions to watch this season.
Okay, first five games. Patriots, Cardinals, Commanders, Chargers, 49ers.
Say it again. First 5 games?
First 5 games. Patriots, at Cardinals, at Commanders, versus Giants, versus 49ers.
Giants or Chargers?
Excuse me, Chargers. My bad.
I can see that being an easy 4-1.
Who would they lose to?
You said Patriots, Cardinals,
Commanders, Chargers, 49ers.
Chargers, 49ers.
They might could drop that Chargers game.
Chargers.
They might could drop that Chargers game.
Now for them, it progressively gets worse. It does. Your next 5 games are at Broncos, home against the Chiefs, home against the Bears. You play the Cardinals again, and then you play the Raiders.
That's not bad. The worst one was the Broncos. I think the Chiefs will still be.
I just said the Chiefs are going to win that division.
The Chiefs are going to look better than what we think. I really do believe that.
I don't know.
I believe in the coach.
Travis Kelce's a married man now, so that's going to change that. Patrick Mahomes has one less knee. That's going to change that.
But he got Justin.
Said nobody happily ever.
Justin's going to look better with Andy. I'm trying to tell y'all, watch.
I mean, Andy's a guru for sure. I just think there's some people you can't save. Now, granted, we all said this, like Corey said at the beginning of this segment.
It's about Sam Darnold, right?
About Sam Darnold. I've seen enough from Justin Fields to believe like there is no more in him.
He said, Raymond said 2-3 lose to the 49ers and the Chargers. Lose to the 49ers, the Chargers, and the Patriots to start the season, though.
Now, I understand that this is the NFC West, but I just want to go on record real quick and say this, that the Patriots will not be what you saw from them last year.
That was a soft-ass schedule.
That was a last place schedule. And they're granted they did get some wins against some top contenders, but what you saw when it came down to like real deal, fully capable, fully capped out teams, they had nothing for them. And I don't think I trust Drake May enough yet. I say yet. He's still young. I don't think I trust Drake May enough.
He absolutely has the number 1 receiver now.
He does. For sure. And we got to see what that looks like. We got to see what that relationship looks like. But
he will crash out on your ass too.
I don't want y'all to be so high on the Patriots because of what they did last year. You got to go back.
I wasn't high last year.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about to the general public, people who think that the Patriots are the Patriots of old. Like, no, that was just a blessed season for the Patriots last year. So look for them to take a step back as well.
I think that I seriously think that Seattle, and when I say by it's going to be hard to beat them, I think they'll be competitive every football game. I think they have an excellent chance to win this division again, right? Mm-hmm. And put themselves in a situation where you can have a run to the NFC Championship game and then ultimately win that game and play in the Super Bowl. Last year, they walked through the playoffs. It didn't even look difficult for them. This year, I think you said, like, they do play a first-place schedule. But if you look down the schedule, your biggest competition, I believe, from their schedule will come from within their own division, instead with San Francisco and the Rams. Mm-hmm. They don't. You play the Super Bowl runner-ups, the Patriots. Do we really think that that's just going to be a barn burner of a football game to lead the season off? I don't. Not really. You know what I mean? It wasn't very good Super Bowl, to be honest. But Drake May will be a year removed from a stellar season. He's got to play a tougher schedule this year, and it starts off week 1 against Seattle, and we'll see. You know what I mean? But I think the Seahawks have an opportunity to repeat. It's all injuries are always going to play a part of it, of course, but it's going to all come down to, can Sam Darnold protect the football and play quality football like he did last year? This is he's done it 2 years in a row. But before that, Sam Darnold, this is the same dude that led FBS in turnovers in college. That is Division I, Division II, and Division III. He led all 3 divisions in turnovers. It's still the same guy. So we'll see if the real Sam Darnold shows up. But he hasn't showed up in 2 years. It's been a totally different Sam Darnold. But we'll see. I mean, it's a long, long football season, and that's a really good roster with a really good coaching staff, and I think they're pretty strong. Now, another strong team will be San Francisco. Much as I hate them, they're not bad.
Well coached.
Right? Well coached. Because if you look at their roster, it's okay, right? I mean, like we talked about this a little bit last week. We kind of jumped the gun. But their receiver room, other than injury-prone Mike Evans, you've got Ricky Pearsall and Christian Kirk. Those are your starting receivers. And Trent Williams will be back. Your offensive line, is okay. Kittle is George Kittle. Like, you want him to be the George Kittle of old, but he's getting a little bit older. And Brock Purdy is Brock Purdy. Super duper talented when throwing the football across the middle, but anytime you go outside them hashes, it's a problem. And Christian McCaffrey, I just think that the entire season will just. I think it'll all depend on what Christian McCaffrey does and can he stay healthy. He had a good season last year. Stayed for the most part. He was healthy. I mean, he plays running back. You're always gonna have bumps and bruises, but can he do this 2 years in a row where he does not miss an extended period of time? And I believe that their entire season revolves around Christian McCaffrey and his health. And I just don't think that that's a good situation to be in.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't think it's on Christian McCaffrey. I think the success of the season, I won't say solely, but I'm comfortable with saying 90% rest on Brock Purdy. I think this year you have to see if Brock Purdy can actually be a good quarterback, not just turn around, hand the ball off, or throw a little dump screen to Christian McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you got to go make plays. You got to go let these receivers run their route tree, hit them in stride, like go make no more of these little 5-yard dump outs and stuff like that. I think everybody's pretty much hip to that kind of play style. Brock Purdy is going to be the key to, and health, of course, but Brock Purdy is going to be the key to if San Francisco has a competitive season or not. And if Brock Purdy can't get it done, there will be a quarterback change before the season is over with, and you'll see Brock Purdy in a different jersey next season.
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
Now, he just signed a big contract, right? And he is one of those, I call him mesh route Brock because that's what he does well. If it's anything that's got to do with a receiver coming across the middle where you're using the mesh point of two wide receivers kind of rubbing each other and getting somebody open, he is very good at deciphering that type of play and making that happen. When they played Baltimore, I think it wasn't last season, it was the season before that, and it was right before he got paid. He threw 5 picks. Listen, it was horrible how Baltimore. I mean, it was brilliant how Baltimore played, but it is horrible for Brock Purdy because all they did was just took those two safeties and Kyle Hamilton just kept stepping right in front of the crossing receiver and just taking the football. Like it was like taking candy from a kid. It was horrible, right? Mm-hmm. And they ended up sitting him down for the second half. That's Brock Purdy. That's the guy that you have now. Him throwing the ball to Juszczyk, George Kittle, or Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield, that's Brock Purdy. Mike Evans will give him an opportunity to have a big target to go down the football field. Let's see if he uses it. History has shown you that he won't. That's why Deebo Samuel ate in that offense because he didn't do anything but run mesh routes, rub routes, get open, and then it's like tackling and running back in the secondary. That's how he made a name for himself. Right.
If every team that they go against, or at least even if just most of the teams that they go against, take away those underneath routes, those mesh routes, and you make him have to actually earn it out there out of the backfield, it's going to get real ugly for Brock Purdy and that 49, especially with these receivers like Mike Evans is. We know who Mike Evans is, but he's he's new to this offense. It's a very much different offense than what he's used to in Tampa Bay. Ricky Pearsall is we're gonna have a one, maybe his first solid year healthy. Let's see what Ricky Pearsall is supposed to do. And then you got Christian Kirk again coming from, I can't even remember where his last stop was. I want to say maybe Jacksonville, but you plugging in all new guys, so you got to get these guys involved. But you're not gonna win with the underneath routes and those little dump offs. Like, you're gonna have to go be a quarterback. And when you had to be a quarterback, history shows that you were not good.
Kaja, you looking like we selling Brock Purdy short.
I think y'all are. Last year the injuries really did them in. I mean, they were really, really like just injury prone. You know what I mean? Like,
they
it just
still went 12-5.
They, again, credit to Kyle Shanahan. I think he's the way his mind works and the way he figures things out. He's gonna always put whoever the quarterback is, whatever players that he has, he's gonna do the best to put them in the best position to win. So to Chris's point, I do believe that a lot of this will come down to Brock Purdy, but also just overall health. This team is older, and they're injury prone, and it's hard to do but so much when half of your team is in and out the lineup with injuries. I think Christian has carried a lot of the load for this team, and with the addition of Mike, that'll hopefully take some of the load off of him, and hopefully he can stay healthy longer or not be injured as much. Having someone else there, who is
Mike gonna miss 4 games with a bad hamstring. That's every year.
I'm manifesting positive vibes. I'm putting out positivity for the 49ers. Okay. That's why I'm manifesting just good vibes, positive energy, so I'm hoping that will be the case. But even if it's not, and he misses the 4 games, like you always say, like what he always happens, I trust Kyle Shanahan to figure something out and make it work.
Now, Chris, they got a strong defense. Their defense can ball.
They had a strong defense last year until it was me, you, Kaja, and Mel out there playing defense.
Agreed.
So,
Fred Warner's coming off a major injury.
So back to health. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all about health. Yeah. So, I think Diamador Lenore is the best DB you got. I think the safeties, it's a little rough. Malik Mustafa, yeah. I think he has flashes, but like your secondary is basically Lenore and the 5 tops, right? So everything is gonna have to come from up front. Like, the front 7 is gonna have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, because if anything goes over the top, it's pretty much a bad day.
Raymond, give us about 2 weeks, and we're gonna talk about Atlanta too. Mike Evans will be out week 3. I listen. I wouldn't be surprised. So, your first 5 games: Rams, Dolphins, Cardinals, Broncos, Seattle Seahawks.
That's real 2 and 3-ish.
Yeah, so I'm thinking 2 and 3-ish. Maybe
real 2 and 3-ish.
It is. And then
I'm gonna be so honest with you, Corey, before you go. I'm gonna be so honest with you. This Rams defense is going to give Brock Purdy hell. It's gonna be bad. Myles Garrett, what's the other? Was it Byron or Byron Young or B Young? I'm not thinking the first name started with a B, but Young.
We're about to get to him. We're about to get to him.
Brock Purdy gonna be seeing the ghost that Sam Darnold saw in New York.
Now, I agree to a certain extent, Chris, and we're about to go to the Rams. I think the Rams are next, but no,
after the Cardinals.
They got the Cardinals. God, I mean, dude, we talk about the Cardinals in 2 minutes, but the Brock Purdy, and this is where I think Shanahan comes into play and puts them in situations to win football games. They're not going to let Brock Purdy just sit back there and be a target. they're going to get rid of the ball fast. But you're going to have to play, Kittle's coming off an injury. Don't know if he'll be back at the beginning of the season. But McCaffrey he's going to catch the ball out of the backfield. I'm interested to see, though, with Brock Purdy and the way he plays football, right? And it's just his strong suits are him throwing short, quick passes, especially stuff across the middle to get, and you got to scheme receivers to get open quickly. Mike Evans is not that type of guy. He is a down the field 50-50 ball type of guy. And we haven't seen Brock Purdy have success doing that yet, right?
Get ready for it.
Okay. We'll see. I'm interested to see, one, will they stay together, because they seem to have a lot of turmoil going on just in their locker room in general. This whole Brandon Ayuk thing, that's crazy. And then before him, it was Deebo Samuel, which Deebo just came out, just flat out was like, yeah, just get me the hell up out of here. And they did. I'm interested to see on how all this works, right? And, you've got a roster that it's an older roster, and you added some guys that have big names, and Mike Evans has gone for 1,000 yards, and it seems like 55 years, but he is injury prone, and you got a lot of guys that are coming off injury. I'm just wondering what kind of team they're going to put out week one. Will that team get better as the season progresses because you start getting some of these injured guys back? Or while you're waiting on these injured guys to come back, are you going to get more players hurt? And then that's just, and then it's just going to be, another, 49er season where they probably go in as a wild card team and they lose in the first round. So interesting, but, it is San Francisco, and you do have an excellent head coach, and we'll see how it all works out for them. These Cardinals.
The highs can be really high and the lows can be really, really low for San Francisco.
Very low. Very low. The Cardinals, there's a lot of things that I could say bad about the Cardinals, but I'm not going to do it because I know that they are in a rebuild mode. But I just find it odd that you go through a rebuild mode and your quarterback is going to be Jacoby Brissett. You've got a very talented rookie running back that you got in the draft this year, and Jeremiah Love, and then you got Tyler Algier in free agency. In theory, they should be able to at least run the football or put the football into some players' hands that are talented. But other than that, I mean, your receivers are Kendrick Bourne, Michael Wilson, and Marvin Harrison Jr. It is what's a good word for it, Chris? Underwhelming.
Subpar.
I'm just interested to see. And you went and got Carson. Average. You went and got Carson Beck, which Chris, he's one of those guys that played college football for about 9 years, and he's got that 50 quality starts. He does. So the game should be a little slower for him because half of these dudes has been in the NFL for 3 or 4 years now. He played them in college.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he played
on that same token, he's also, I mean, it's still a different game of football from college to the pros. He is the same guys that he played against that have been in the league now 3-4 years. He's well behind the power curve.
He played competitive football in college, Chris. He went, I mean, you talking about a dude that played in some national championship games. He played highly competitive football at Georgia, and then he went to Miami, and he kind of resurrected that program last year. They had their highs and lows, and they had an excellent defense. I'm not going to even, say that it was Carson Beck that led the way. That defense was excellent. But Carson Beck played good football last year in college.
He's played some meaningful football, but I don't
definitely
think
played some meaningful games.
I don't think that gives him any type of extension to push him above Gardner Minshew or Jacoby Brissett, who have both played meaningful NFL games.
Agreed. I agree. Kaija, what is the ceiling and what is the floor for the Rams? if we talk about the Rams, not the Rams, excuse me, the Cardinals.
Cardinals?
If we talk about the Cardinals at the end of the season, and we say the Cardinals had this record, they had an excellent season.
Oof. The Cardinals to me are just honestly, I don't like the way the organization is run. Like I think it starts from the top, it goes all the way down. So I know we focus a lot of times on the QB and the roster, but there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not even sure about Jacoby just as the QB, to be honest with you. Oof. How many games did they win last year?
5. I
But
think
they
they
beat-
squeaked off 5.
But they beat the Cowboys.
You want to keep the Cowboys in there.
Beat the hell out of
Um,
the Cowboys too.
It was
Beat 'em down,
bad.
huh?
And I picked the Cowboys. I remember
Beat 'em down.
vividly. I picked the Cowboys to win that week on the Pick'em League.
Beat them down.
Got shit on.
hmm
It's not just
Terrible.
winning, but it's also how you look when you win, the quality of your wins, at least for me. But if they could be middle of the pack, I'm gonna say at least maybe 7, maybe 8 wins. That'll be good for them.
Okay.
For them.
Oh, okay. Now you said 7. That'd be great for them. I'm gonna tell you their first 5 games, and
Uh-oh.
let me see if you change your mind. Week 1, they play the Chargers.
Oh,
Week
okay.
2, they play the Seahawks.
2 losses.
Week 3, they play the 49ers.
3 losses. It
Oh.
sounds like okay. Oh God. Okay.
Oh no. Week 4, they play the Giants. And
That's
Hmm.
And week 5, they play the Lions.
ha. 1-4.
The Lions haven't looked the same. No, but nevertheless, another time for them.
We look better than the Cardinals, though.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, most teams do. I will say that. Yeah, you're right.
And we got their coordinator.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go. Maybe like it sounds very 1-4ish.
Hold
somewhere.
on. And we done
Yeah.
6 through 10 get no better.
Oh damn.
They get the Rams again.
Oh,
Then they get the Broncos. Then they get the Cowboys. Then
How
they
did
get the Seahawks.
schedule?
Why the
And then they
schedule
get
so?
and then hold on. and then they get the Rams. So you pay the
Oh.
Rams.
That's real 1-9ish.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so then they're not gonna win 7 games. It doesn't sound like it right now. That's the way it
Hold
is.
on.
How did they get that schedule?
But check this
Yeah.
out though.
Yeah,
Check
who they
this out.
piss off?
Then they get the Chiefs, the Commanders, the Eagles, the Jets, the Saints, the Raiders, and the 49ers again.
I hear
It sounds-
2
it sounds-
wins out the whole season.
It sounds like 5 wins again. Honestly, somewhere in there.
If
Yeah,
They can
that's
find the
what
other
it sounds.
3.
if
I heard 2, the Giants and the Raiders. Where'd you get the other 3?
Oh, stop it.
PGZ say 4-13 is a great season for the Cardinals. I don't disagree.
They gotta
I think
look
4
competitive
is-
though. I mean, come on, like what we out here doing? You gotta figure it out.
Who's the head coach? They got a new coach this year too, right?
They did.
Gonna be a short.
No, same coach.
Yeah.
Same coach. They got a new offensive coordinator, I believe. Let's check them.
Didn't they fire the head coach? Am I tripping?
It was
I
after
find
his
it
first
really
year.
hard. I find it really hard to find 4 wins out of that schedule. They can beat the Giants.
Oh, 'cause
They
when
can
fired
beat
the
the
coach.
Raiders.
Mhm.
Mike LaFleur is their head coach.
Oh, that's a new guy. He just got
Yeah,
yeah.
he's-
He is
yeah.
a new guy.
Yeah, fired the coach. Yeah, I remember.
Matt LaFleur's little brother. Who was that back half of that season again, Corey?
You want? It wasn't easy. Back half.
Start from week 10.
Let's start from week 11. Excuse me, week 10. Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams, Chiefs, Commanders, Eagles.
They could beat the Commanders possibly.
And then you have December 20th, you got the Jets. Then you go play the Saints. Then you got the Raiders. And then you got the 49ers to close the season.
Yeah, that's 4 wins.
Okay. I heard those. Okay, there we go.
Those are
Okay,
4 wins,
5.
Yeah.
They can beat the Giants, the Raiders, the Jets, the Saints, and maybe the Commanders.
I'm gonna tell you this: the Cowboys haven't beat them in like 6 years.
Has it been that long? Wow.
They throttled the Cowboys last year. I'm whooped that ass.
I'm giving the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt this year. I'm giving y'all.
I think they have a better defense for sure.
I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt this year. I just, you can't pay me to trust the Cardinals this year. You can't. You can't tell me I will give you $250,000 cash right now if you trust the Cardinals to have a 500 season or above 500 season. I wouldn't take that money.
Defensively,
I would take it if you're giving it.
I mean, defensively, I mean, front four looks okay. Linebackers is where they start running into issues with Cody Simon, Mac Wilson Jr., and Josh Sweat. And even though Josh Sweat, he's decent. Will Johnson, Buda Baker, Taylor Demerson, Denzel Burke, and Garrett Williams are your secondary members. And it's one of those things where you have a roster that is very underwhelming. You have a new coach. You have a quarterback situation that's not the greatest. You got a bell cow running back that you probably gonna run the hell out of his rookie season. You're gonna try to keep him healthy. You know what I mean? But you do have Tyler Algier as well. I mean, it's one of those things where, as a first-year head coach, this is one of those situations that you just like, man, like, baby, we probably just gonna rent a hotel room in Tempe, because I'm not finna move all my stuff here because we're not gonna be here for very long. We're not gonna be here, not with this roster. We're not gonna be here for very long. So
it doesn't look good down there in Glendale.
And that's one of those situations, Chris, where I say, why not throw Carson back out there and see what he can do? What you got to lose?
I mean, has there been any? I haven't heard it, but maybe y'all have. Any news about how they look in terms of their QB competition?
Not really.
I think Jacoby is probably
he's the starter. Yeah, he's the starter for sure. But I mean, it's only a matter of time before you're like, okay, we need some sort of spark. Where we gonna get that from? And the answer to the room would be, I mean, they're going to run Jeremiah Love from play one. They're going to run. He's going to touch the ball 40 times a game. But
to be honest, I would probably take that to Vegas. The first play from scrimmage for the Cardinals is a Jeremiah Love run.
Absolutely. Like guaranteed. But that's what they got. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot to work with. And that's the thing I said about Kyler Murray. Like, if you knew you were going to get rid of this coaching staff and he had fell out with the coaching staff, then why not keep him? At least he gave you a chance. He ran around back there like crazy, but he ran around and somebody got open. You know what I mean? At least he'd attempt to. But you're putting a quarterback out there that is, a game manager at best, and you're running him out there with a mediocre roster. Everybody wants Marvin Harrison Jr. to be more than what he has shown, but he hasn't done that yet. And it could be because it's quarterback play. It could be.
I think this is another situation where
didn't make that known.
The Cardinals aren't expected to win. They're not expected to be competitive. I think, but the difference between them and Cleveland is I don't think that Arizona has better sights on the horizon. I think the Cardinals are just they haven't been good since when they went to the Super Bowl against the Steelers.
They went a couple years ago. They went to the second round and they had to play the Rams again. Remember that? And Kyler Murray shit the bed in the playoff game.
Yeah,
and that was the last time they were relevant.
I think from that point on, the Cardinals have just been a terribly run organization. And until I think this might be a little drastic. I might be taking it a little too far. This might be one of those things where they don't get good until you sell the team and relocate.
Damn, you want them out of Arizona? Man.
I think you need a fresh start, right? Who needs a team? What city needs a team? Let's send them somewhere else, man. New jerseys, new name, new city, new stadium, new front office. Just let's just erase the Arizona Cardinals from history, except for Larry Fitzgerald, because there's nothing really, there's nothing good going on down there, and it doesn't look like they're trying to do anything good.
Raymond says Marvin Harrison is good. He just got to stay healthy. I tell you who he did look good against last year was the Cowboys. He looked excellent against the Cowboys.
Y'all couldn't stop him, and it was the same move every time.
It's just a little stutter and go. Gone.
Well, who was it? Deron Bland?
It was Siobhan Reveal. Remember the rookie they ran out there with the big knee brace. Knee brace went that looked like one of them ones that all the way up to your thigh, all the way down to your ankle.
I mean, Marvin Harrison was running routes. He literally was like, he did this and then broke and lost him. Touchdown.
It was bad.
Like, oh, this is terrible.
It was bad.
But yeah, I don't know, man. And I think you picking your quarterback options being Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, and Carson Beck just shows me how unserious of an organization you are. So I don't find they can find 5 wins like we said, Saints, Jets, Giants, Raiders, maybe Commanders. They can find 5 wins. That is that's the ceiling. That is absolutely the ceiling. And the floor, they can absolutely go 0-17. They can absolutely go 0-17.
Damn.
That's rough. I hope they find some wins this season. I think they can find 4. I just hope one ain't against Dallas. But I think they can find 4. But they are going to have to pull out a surprise game somewhere in there. And it may be a divisional game. They may catch the 49ers slipping or something, but it's going to be a rough season for the Cardinals. And what I hope they don't do is just run Jeremiah Love into the ground year one, and it totally changed him at how he plays the game of football, because he's an explosive dude, either running the ball or catching the ball out of the backfield. He can do everything, right? But this has the potential to be one of them things where you just run this dude into the ground his rookie season, and then his NFL career is 4 or 5 years, and then he's gone, never heard from again. So hopefully they figure.
Running backs already have short shelf lives.
They got a short shelf life. So, Chris, you mentioned when we first started talking about the division about the Rams are in it to win it. And I do not disagree with you at all. They made some off-season moves that were special. However,
who decided to do business with these dudes?
I'm gonna start with the defense. So you got Fisk, Ford, Turner, Young, and Myles Garrett playing the outside linebacker because they run a 3-4 defense, right? We all know Myles Garrett ain't dropping to no damn coverage. They might as well run a 4-3 because he is a book defensive end. He's the guy, right? Now, mind you, Chris, I think that this is an excellent roster. I do. But I see chinks in the armor. I do. And the reason I say that defensively, is because if it was Verse and Myles Garrett, I would be completely afraid of this roster. I'd be like, man, you might not get a pass off. You'd be doing really good just to get the ball out your hands. Myles Garrett, if you watch how he plays, he gets sacks in bunches. He'll have a game where he'll get 4 or 5 sacks, right? And then he'll go 3 games without getting one. Now, a lot of that is because you game plan for him, you chipping him with a running back, or you getting rid of the ball real fast. You know what I'm saying? But I watched them play. I watched the Cowboys play Cleveland 2 seasons ago, first game of the season. And the one person, of course, that I was afraid of was Myles Garrett. The reason I was afraid of him because we had a left tackle, Tyler Guyton, that was a rookie. He played right tackle at the University of Oklahoma. They moved him to left tackle. Long dude. He's like 6'8", tall. And I was like, he going to get 50 million holding penalties, right? And he did a really decent job against Myles Garrett, right? Did a really good job. Dak was getting rid of the ball. They were efficient. They won the game. Deshaun Watson threw a couple interceptions. Well, he actually had a fumble over there on the sideline. It ended up costing the game for real. But other than Myles Garrett, do they have anything that just says this is going to be a situation where other teams come in here and it's just going to be hell trying to complete a pass on here, or hell trying to run the ball on them? Like, what is it about the Rams that gives you the indication that they just going to be excellent?
2 words.
Gotcha.
Trent McDuffie.
Okay.
That
Kaiju.
was an incredible pickup.
Kaiju, can they win defensively with Trent McDuffie and Myles Garrett?
They can. They absolutely can win. I don't have them winning at all. I don't have them win Super Bowl.
Okay.
I don't.
Their first 5 games, it ain't terrible. Got to play the 49ers week 1. They play the Giants week 2. They play the Broncos week 3. Got the Eagles week 4 and Buffalo week 5.
That's a lot.
I just said that's a loss. They ain't beating Buffalo.
No. Joshua
Say it
Tyrell.
again. Say the 5 again.
Week 1, San Francisco. Got them at home. That's always a great game. Always. Week 2, they got the Giants. Week 3, they play the Broncos in Denver. Week 4, they got the Eagles in Philly. Week 5, they play Buffalo at home.
Side note, that first game against the 49ers is not at home. That game is in Australia.
It is somewhere. I was going to say that's one of those games that's on the road in
That
another
game
country.
is in Australia. So
yeah.
That could play a part for both teams. I'm going to have a tough one calling that one. I think
those should be all good games.
They should all be good games, except for the Giants, right? You said Giants?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
That's going to be a blowout, and it's going to be disgusting. And I hope it's in LA. I might go to that one.
It's not.
It's going to be a blowout?
It's in LA. It is in LA.
It's in LA? Yeah. I'll break out my Matthew Stafford, either my Lions Matthew Stafford or my Super Bowl Rams Matthew Stafford. I don't know how I'm feeling that day, but I might go to that one. But the Giants, that's a win. The Eagles, the Broncos, and the Bills.
That's tough.
That is an outstanding way to start the season for a Super Bowl contender, because that'll tell you exactly who you are.
Battle tested from week 1.
From week 1. If you can come out of that 4-1, the Super Bowl is within reach. If you come out of that 3-2 or less, I'd be worried.
Offensively, Chris, they strong.
Oh, they
Devontae
good.
Adams, Puka Nacua, Jordan Whittington, solid offensive line. Still got Matty Stafford, Matty Ice playing quarterback for you, Kyron Williams and Blake Corum at running back. Like, they have a solid offensive roster. And they went and got the all-time sack leader in a single season NFL history in Myles Garrett. They went and got him too. Can this team compete for a Super Bowl? Can they beat Seattle, win the division, and compete for a Super Bowl?
They almost beat them in the NFC Championship. I think what they did in the offseason gives them the edge that gets them over that Seattle hump, if Seattle is the hump. That's not to say that I'm just saying these contenders from last year. That's not to say that the Bears aren't there. That's not to say that the Eagles aren't there. That's not to say that the Lions or the Cowboys, aren't there, right? Whoever the hump is. But like I said in the beginning, everybody's game planning to beat Seattle, right? They're the champs. We got to beat them. I think this roster, this team, and I think Matthew Stafford still got, almost 40, and he's getting his first MVP last season. I don't think he's taken as much of a step back. I think he still got the go, and iron sharpens iron, right? I'm lining up against Myles Garrett in practice. There's nothing this season can do to deter me from going to get another ring. I think they very well can be, and probably should be, at least NFC Championship favorites.
High expectations for this roster, especially after they added Myles. Expectations are killers. I don't like it when you have such high expectations and you have the MVP, you have Miles, you have Puka and all the things. It looks great on paper. Like it looks great. You line up everybody and you're like, okay, they have this one, they have that one. But that schedule, especially to start, is definitely gonna be battle tested. That's the first thing. But I don't think it's gonna be as I don't want to say easy, but I think it's gonna be a lot more challenging than people think, even with Miles Garrett.
I think that I agree because, like I said, if it was Miles Garrett and Jaren Verse on the same defensive line, then I would get it, right? Because Verse is a good. It's not Cleveland is going. They got a good player. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like they just traded Miles Garrett for nothing. They traded him for a good player. But I think that the Rams, as long as, because they threw me off with this first round pick with Ty Simpson, as long as they can keep Matthew Stafford upright, I think they'll be just fine. But they haven't kept him upright in a few years. He's always banged up. He's been banged up his whole NFL career, though.
Yeah,
but
yes.
If there's one guy that can play banged up and get carried off the field or walk off the field, pop his shoulder back into place, and then go throw a 60-yard touchdown, it's Matt Stafford. And he is a excellent quarterback, the future Hall of Famer, great guy, but great football player. But is this the swan song? Is this the last hoorah? Does he have any more left in the tank? We'll find out. But I don't think he's going to be pushed by Ty Damn Simpson. But it's just one of those things like where, it'll be interesting to see, one, can he hold up? And two, will this roster gel together? You got a lot of individual talent on this roster. Can they gel together as a football team and make some noise? Not only in the NFC East, but just in the NFL in general. So, went through all 4 teams. Who you got, Kaja, to win the division?
I'm rocking out with Sam. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Chris?
Give me the real Matty Ice. Matthew Stafford and the Rams taking the NFC West this year.
And I'm picking the Cardinals. Okay, so that's...
Somebody got to be the outlier. Somebody got to get.
Somebody got to be right. No, I think Seattle win the division. I do. Said Brandon Fisk will have a hell of a year.
Also, I think I said this last week, kind of previewing. There's only going to be 2 playoff teams out of this division.
You do not think that there'll be 3?
I do not think there will be 3. I think there will be 2 playoff teams out of this division.
Who are your 2 playoff teams?
LA and Seattle.
The 49ers will not make the playoffs.
I think that the 49ers can possibly have a good enough season that any other season they can make the playoffs. I think the NFC might just be too wide open. They won't have the chance to. And I think it's going to come down to some tiebreakers, head-to-head wins against some of these other teams vying for position. That's going to do them in when it's all said and done. So they probably will go 10-7, maybe even could do an 11-6. But the NFC is a lot going on in the NFC that might not even be enough for them.
Kaja, 2 or 3 playoff teams. This is arguably the strongest division in football. Arguably.
I'm not gonna leave a Kyle Shanahan team out, so I'm gonna go 3.
I tell you what, with the NFC North, I got 3 playoff teams in that division too, and somebody don't fit.
That's true.
So somebody don't
You
fit.
see what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's only 3 wild card spots, right? So, and I'm never counting out the NFC East, right? Cowboys and Eagles are always gonna make it interesting, and then there has to be a winner from the NFC South.
Got to be one.
There has to be one. So. You got 1 wild card from the NFC West. You got potentially 3 teams vying for a wild card in the NFC North and 2 teams vying for a wild card in the NFC West. Somebody can't make it.
That's true.
Okay.
It'll probably be a team that you least expect that'll be up in there, though. There's always one.
The damn Cardinals, man. I'm telling you, watch out for them Cardinals. They tough. They tough.
NFC is wide open this year.
Yeah,
anybody can make it.
It is.
Well, I'm not gonna say anybody can make it because Cardinals can't make it.
Damn.
A lot of teams in the NFC can make it.
It's going to be, and I think that NFC North.
Only division last year, all 4 teams went over 500.
Yeah, with Kyler Murray quarterback in Minnesota, you're gonna see some shit.
Yeah, you will see some shit.
It's gonna be high flying. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So,
who we talking about next week? Where we going with it?
The most interesting division in football. The most interesting. The AFC South. That is the weirdest division ever. Colts, Texans, Titans, Jaguars. Because no matter how, and I understand that Jacksonville has an excellent football team. They have a really, really good football team.
It's a whole lot of dog shit in that division.
Listen, CJ Stroud is playing for his contract. This is a contract year for him. He's playing for his job in Houston. Normally brings out the best people because his last game.
I mean the season.
That last game was just the icing on the cake for a bad season.
Yeah. After that first year, he went down for sure.
Is Daniel Jones gonna be healthy, man?
No, absolutely not.
No.
But Daniel Jones, unhealthy, still has a better chance of playing than Anthony Richardson does because that dude gets hurt. I mean,
he had some of the weirdest injuries last season.
He broke his orbital bone in a pregame workout.
How? Like,
I'm so rooting for Anthony Richardson, man. I really am.
Are you?
Like you said, I am.
Don't root for him in the Colts jersey because they already said they didn't pick up his option.
This
is it for him.
This is it. And he more than likely will be the starter week 1. If he can stay healthy.
He also got to focus too. Huh? I don't think he took it seriously. You know, with that jump he made, obviously, you know, in college and getting drafted as high as he did. I don't think he took it seriously. I think he kind of just like took it for granted. You know, hopefully, you know, he'll use the opportunity to really show everybody what he can do.
Kaja, I don't know if I can even say he didn't take it seriously because hell, he ain't never healthy.
Yeah. But making the music videos and whatnot, it's like, dude, you are losing. We don't want to see you in the rap career at all. Like, we don't want to see it. Not even in your off time. Like, I don't want to see you want to see you starting a podcast. I don't want to see you doing none of those things.
He really might not have a choice.
Well, I mean, are we really trusting Daniel Jones? I mean, I know he had a good season, but think about all the seasons before. I mean,
he was in a bad situation. That Giants situation was terrible.
You have to. You can't take the same way we do with Sam Darnold. You have to separate which Sam Darnold you're talking about because you got Sam Darnold in Minnesota and Seattle, and Sam Darnold in Carolina and New York.
But that was at least 2. I can't think of when I saw at least 2 like back-to-back good seasons from.
And I'll give you that. And if he's healthy, then we have to see it this season. And you know, health played a huge part in that decline for the Colts for him last season. Also, I would have a huge beef with management and the front office because why am I out there on a broken fibula and then I go and tear my ACL or ruptured Achilles? So I got beef with the front office anyway and the coaching staff because I shouldn't be out there on a broken fibula anyway. That there, Corey, further shows you how much they trust Anthony Richardson. Like, nah, Daniel Jones on a broken fibula is still better than you.
I think when he broke the fibula, I think that that's when Anthony Richardson had the eye injury. So they didn't have a choice but to play him.
Nah, they have a choice. They can go get somebody in free agency and just tell them to turn around and hand the ball off to JT.
And mind you, he got hurt in a pregame game warm up and
Yeah, I
broke his
remember.
damn eye.
And I was like, how'd you do that?
Injury prone ain't the word. You got to come up with a new phrase for him because that's just injury searcher. You go and find injuries to have.
Yeah.
But
Not
we'll
Jazz
talk about it
running
next
it
week.
back.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think that I think the best quarterback in the division might play for the worst team.
Not enough tape. Not enough tape.
But he can ball.
He
What are you
can.
talking about?
But he can
Cam
ball.
Ward.
Cam Ward.
Oh,
Not
Cam
enough
Ward can
tape.
play.
And he does play for probably one of the shittiest teams in the league.
I don't know if
So,
it's as bad as Arizona.
hey, new
But Arizona winning this
uniforms.
division though.
Stop it. Listen, Tennessee, new uniforms, new stadium on the way, new logo,
Gotta do something.
new attitude. You know what I'm saying? Watch out.
Watch out.
They channeling the old Oilers energy, so we'll see.
I hope so. I do. I hope so. So, AFC South next week.
Same time, same place.
Same time, same place. Great show, fellas. Ladies and fellas.
lady.
I appreciate lady and fella. I appreciate you guys coming on with me, man. And it's been fun.
As always.
I think that we just discussed possibly the second best division in football. One or two. I think that NFC North is dangerous.
All four teams potentially can. I can't wait for that North Day.
Yeah,
that
that's
NFC
gonna
North Day is gonna be a good. That's gonna be a good episode.
That's a fun division. All right, y'all, man. Let's talk about this next week. We got it. In the AFC South. I just think it's an interesting division.
We saw that.
You guys watching soccer tonight?
I am not.
Nah.
What about tomorrow?
Nah.
I'm about to go see who won between Indiana and the Aces.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch.
Indiana went on a crazy run. They up by 11 right now.
How much time is left?
37 and a half in the third.
Oh, okay, cool.
You got time. Got time.
Yeah. No Asia. No.
She's still not playing?
Yeah,
Okay.
no Asia, no Kaylin.
Oh.
Well, they do fine without Kaylin anyway.
Sidebar. I'm really, and I don't know what it is. I gotta do a deep dive, maybe go to therapy. I really don't like Sophie Cunningham.
I don't like her either. She's getting on my damn nerves. Mike, if you say something else,
man, I don't know what
I need somebody to just catch her with an elbow one good time.
Hey,
man, where's Kennedy Carter when you need her?
Like, just shut up. Like, don't say nothing else. Nothing.
God, she's so full of herself and like,
there's
Kennedy Carter.
I don't think it's Sophie Cunningham that bothers me more than the fan base.
No.
That's
fan base is annoying too.
That fan base.
The Fever fan base is toxic.
Toxic is an understatement. Absolute understatement.
The Fever fan base now, I would equate to prime Tom Brady New England Patriots fan base.
Or
They said there's not a lot of Fever fans at the game today because they was in DC yesterday.
Okay, everybody, that's the show. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.